In this video, I'm going to talk about coiling your rope. Before we do any work with our rope, we want to make sure that our coils are nice and neat, and that we don't have any half hitches or hitches in there or kinks that are going to create a problem for you later on. A half hitch or a knot in your rope could get around your foot or your horse's leg, get around your neck, could create all kinds of problems, and we don't want to do that. So we're always thinking about safety. Anytime you go to use your rope, check through your coils. If someone hands you a rope to use, check through the coils. Never trust someone else's work on this. It's just a matter of safety. Make sure those coils flow, that you don't have a kink in there or a knot or a half hitch or something that's going to get you into trouble. So you notice here, when I began, I dropped the tail of my rope down out of the way so that it wouldn't get caught in these coils and create a half hitch or a problem. So I'm very mindful of having the tail end of my rope out of my way there. Again, as I go to get ready, I'm looking at my position of my Honda. And what I'll do here is I'm going to take about a half to 2/3 of my rope, and I'm going to pitch it out and show you basic coiling of your rope. I'm going to back up here so that I can pitch this rope towards you and give you a little better picture here. So I'm going to swing underhanded and just pitch this rope out. I'm not worried about building a loop or catching anything just yet. So from here, if I were on my horse, I'd have my left hand in front of me. I'd have my reins in this left hand as well as my coils in my left hand. Now, I'm doing this right-handed, so to begin with, I'm going to show you how I would reach for each coil with my hand. My little finger goes towards my work, my thumb goes towards me. I'm going to reach out and let the rope slide through my right hand as I pull it towards me. You'll find this is easier when you're moving forward, but in this case we're just standing here practicing this. So with my right hand, I reach so far, and I bring my right hand into my left. My left fingers accept that coil. I reach again, pulling that rope with the right hand, and set it into my left hand again. Now notice that when I reach, I'll turn a little sideways here, I reach a certain distance, and that distance is going to give me the size of my coil here. If I reach shorter, I'm going to have a small coil, and that's not going to be neatly fitting into the rest of my coils, my rope. If I reach too far, I'm going to have a bigger coil, and that doesn't fit either. So I'm going to try to get in the habit of seeing just how far I have to reach to make that perfect size coil. Now, another thing you'll notice is that this rope has some twists in it, and maybe some kinks out here towards your working end. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you with my right hand what I do to help this rope fall into these other coils. If I simply bring my two hands together, I'm going to have something that's not that neat in here. If I just bring it in, it may look something like that. I don't want that. I want it to fall in nice and neat. So I'm going to reach here, and with my right hand, I'm going to roll this rope, roll it into this left hand here. So again, if I need to, watch my right hand, I can kind of finesse into this rope by whipping that hand around this way, or if that's too much, I can turn it around that way. Just practice that until you get this working for you. Again, right hand, swing it around like that, and that coil will fall right in there. This is another reason to store your rope nice and neat. Now, some of you remember when you were a kid, you played with slinkies. And that slinky was pretty cool, and it walked up and down stairs and did all kinds of things until somebody put a kink in it. And then it never worked quite the same after that. Most of us have seen that happen, so just be mindful. Your rope is a lot like that. If you put a kink in it, it may never be the same. So we want to make sure it's nice and neat. Now this last coil that I coiled up here, I'll just pitch that out there and do that again. Coil up a couple of these. When I get to the end, I want to make sure that I do not have that last coil locked down or closed. I'd like it to be open. You'll see a lot of folks sometimes when they're beginning or starting to use a rope that they'll be walking around, or maybe this will even be on their horse, tied up with that last loop like that. We wouldn't want to have that. That just wouldn't look good, and it's not ready to go to work when we need our rope to do a job. So fix that last one into a coil. It should be the same size as your others as well. There again, there's my Honda position, the tail end of my rope outside my coils, and that should take care of the basics of coiling your rope.